So Dead Rails has a lot of buildings, and if this is your first time playing or you missed a few updates, watch this video to the end, and I'll tell you all about them. And guys, this is just my opinion. Not everybody will agree with it. This is just from my experience of playing this game. Now, let's get on the video. First, we have the most common, houses. In the game, they look like this and contain items such as junk, fuel, and valuables. Most commonly, they hold junk and fuel such as wheels, coal, rope, barrels, and vases. Valuable items found in this house include paintings, plates, and bars, although they're quite rare. They can also contain bonds, but the chances of you finding any bonds is 0 to none. These houses usually have zombies, but sometimes don't. You can easily kill these zombies through the walls with a melee weapon. I rank these in the lowest tier possible as they are the worst building in this game. You should only ever stop there if you need fuel or are desperate for money, like really desperate. Next is the furniture store. Like the name mentions, there is furniture inside. You usually find a lot of chairs alongside other junk pieces, such as ropes, vases, and coal can spawn there as well. These stores can spawn by themselves or have a chance to spawn in towns. They usually spawn between 1 and 3 zombies inside, so be careful. This building is also not very useful to stop at unless you really need fuel. I rank it last as well. There's just way better buildings out there. Head frame or main shaft. I couldn't find it, so just have to use a picture. I actually like this building. These never spawn in towns, always in the desert. It is advised to stop always at the mines, as coal is guaranteed to be found inside, which is one of the best forms of fuel. This building has always helped me out, and I haven't left disappointed yet. Although most of the time there is junk inside, you can get lucky and find gold, silver statues, watches, snake oil, cavalry sword. I'll just put up the list of items you can find in there. Overall, a really good building. It's not as common as the other ones mentioned before, so I rate it a D. Now, the general store. These appear in the desert, in towns, and in safe zones. Like the name says, general has a variety of items in them and it's almost never the same. I find them to be quite useful and you can get a lot of stuff like sheets of metal, which is great for barricading the train. You can also get gold or silver statues, coal, saddles. There's a variety and I think it's worth stopping here, especially early game, as it can give you an advantage and they usually have zombies as well. I rate this one a C because you don't always get good loot. It could also just be full of crap if you're unlucky. Gunsmiths. I recommend you always loot these, especially if you don't have a gun or your ammo's running out. These are great, everybody loves them. They contain ammo if you already have a weapon, or you might even find a new weapon. Gunsmiths are rare and can be found inside towns, however, they're not guaranteed, especially in smaller towns. They usually contain about 1 to 3 zombies. They are pretty good buildings, so always stop for them. I rate the Gunsmith a B. On to our next building, one of my favorites, Sheriff's Office. Not the one in the safe zone, but the one outside. These usually have zombies inside, like every other building. I also highly recommend you loot in these buildings as they contain really good loot, similar to the Gunsmith. They contain ammo, a bunch of different guns, armor, valuable items, etc. Here's a list of the different items that can also spawn. Sheriff's Office are found in deserts, towns, and the safe zones. I rate this building an A. Just a great building overall. Now, the doctors, or hospital, whatever you want to call it. Great buildings to loot in the beginning and the end of the game, usually packed with bandages. About 2 to 6 of them can be found here. Most of the time, they also have snake oils, about 1 or even 3, and vases, ropes, nothing much, but great for healing items. And of course, can't forget the zombies. I rate the doctors a C. It's quite low because once you loot these, you don't really need to come back to it. If you already have healing items, it's kind of useless. Next are churches. When players enter the church, no zombies spawn inside as it's a place of worship, but they can come in, so beware. In the church, crucifix may drop and or holy water may spawn. Some people say that these items always spawn, but in my case that hasn't always been the case. Apparently it's because of a glitch and the items spawn outside or under the floor, so always check if you can get yourself one of those items. Churches only appear in towns, They're guaranteed to spawn in a town. I would say it's quite a good building. I rate it a B. Guys, don't forget to like and subscribe if you're liking this video so far. Banks, probably the best building in this game. These buildings only spawn in towns and can be identified by its reddish brick build color. Inside are various junk and valuable items, as well as a vault. The vault requires a 5-digit code to open, but can also be blown open with a dynamite alongside with a torch. To find the code, you need to kill the zombie with a black hat. They should drop a little paper with a code there. Inside the vault, players can find a random number of silver and gold bars, which can be sold for a lot of money, as well as several bonds, which we all want. Banks have two different types. One is cleaner and the other one's darker and less clean. And be careful, sometimes there's zombies inside the vault, like the actual locked place, or around the bank. They can also hit you through the walls. I rate the bank a S. It's a top tier building. Next, Outlaw camps. They are a small collection of tents surrounded by torches that spawn randomly throughout the map. They often contain weapons, ammunition, and some valuables, making it a good idea to loot them. However, as the name suggests, they're occupied by outlaws, these little cowboys, who will fire at any player who gets too close. Fortunately, they aren't too difficult to deal with as long as you own some sort of gun or somebody who's with you does. Here you can find ammunition, armor, guns, bandages, dynamite, turrets, even bonds, and a bunch more here. You can also sell the outlaws for $35. I'm also making a video on that if you want to check it out. I rate them an A tier. They're great, but if you don't have a gun, you most likely die and lose your whole run. Although sometimes I have found camps completely empty, no outlaws, especially if they spawn next to the safe zone when they get killed by the turrets. The barn is a special building that spawns away from the tracks, like very far away. It's not really worth going there since it's quite far and it takes forever to get there. By the time that you're back, it's already nighttime. Anyways, it has a lot of loot that relates to farming, including chairs, saddles, and horses. It can also spawn valuable items such as gold bars, gold plates, etc. The only reason you should really go is for horse. The rest of the loot is like pure garbage. I rate it a C because the horse is there. If it wasn't for that, it would probably be a lot lower. And now my favorite building so far since the update. The fort slash army base. It's a unique building that spawns around 20 to 70 kilometers. This building has crazy loot and you can also find quite a few bonds. While a little less dangerous than the castle, it can also end your run if you're not careful. Army zombies and Captain Prescott can be found here. They are armed with swords and firearms. Captain Prescott's corpse should be saved and sold to a sheriff, and this will give you a whopping $150, which will definitely help you out. After a minute or two of initiating the raid, reinforcements in the forms of those zombie soldiers on horses will spawn, usually having about 5 or 10 of these. Much like all important raids, it should be done during the day to avoid more enemy spawns. On top of Prescott's bounty, strong weapons and a lot of ammo can be found here, such as cannons found on the towers, sawed-off shotguns, bolt action rifles, and various other common weapons after the fort is cleared out. This is a great building, but very easy to get yourself killed on. It's good to have a horse so you can run away from the soldier zombies if you're dying. I also recommend you using a rifle. It's just the perfect gun for this since it's long range and you can keep your distance from these buffed up zombies. I rate it an S, top tier building. Now the castle. It's a unique building that spawns just before the fort at the 40k mark. It contains many valuable items such as gold, silver bars, paintings, many bonds, and gold plates. You can also find the vampire knife in the upstairs coffin. It's a very valuable item since it can regenerate your health upon attacking an enemy. Extreme caution should be taken while looting the castle as it's extremely dangerous. Going in unprepared or alone will almost certainly end your run. It's the most dangerous building so far as werewolves and vampires can be found in abundance here. And it's recommended to bring a horse for each member of your group that's going there so they can be outrun. It's best to clear out the castle of enemies before you loot it and only do so during the day to prevent more spawning. I've seen people do this and I've done this myself and it works. It's when you block the entrance of the castle with a horse or just honestly anything you can put there that doesn't move, and then you kill all vampires and werewolves. Or if the castle is next to a safe zone, bring them closer and the turrets can kill them, and it's just much easier like that. After they're all killed, you can get all that amazing loot. The castle, I rate it an S. It's a great building overall, but very difficult and most likely will get you killed, but it's more manageable in groups. And our last one is the Tesla Lab. The lab is a unique building that spawns anywhere between 10k to 79k. Unlike other special structures, the lab requires the players to reassemble Nikola Tesla to summon the zombie scientist that can be found here. Much like all important raids, it should be done during the day as well to avoid more enemy spawns. There's actually no threats in the Tesla lab unless you decide to summon the big bad wolf. But if you don't, you're completely fine. You can get some really good loot from there, like gold, silver, lightning rod, and also the gun, but you have to assemble Tesla. It's a good building overall. I rate it a B. Like the loot is kind of mid compared to the others, and it's very hard to find. I'm pretty sure it only appears once in a game, and no more than that. Some people like it, others don't. It's just my opinion, guys. Share yours down in the comment section. And this is the end of the video. If you enjoyed watching this, or if it helped you in any way, make sure you leave a like and subscribe. See you in the next video.